Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're going to be previewing Game Week 5 of the Premier League. Games are coming thick and fast now guys. I think we've got midweek games all the way through now to the World Cup. So yeah, the videos are becoming thick and fast, and so will the games, and let's get into it. Right then guys, here we go. As you can see, the first game we've got on the Tuesday night, Fulham take on Brighton at Craven Cottage. Bit of a tough one this, they both had pretty good starts really. Fulham unfortunate not to get anything at the Emirates really, after taking the lead. And yeah, Brighton, as you can see, they're unbeaten so far, joint second there as we see in the Premier League. So yeah, both sides really had a good start, both done better than they probably thought they'd do early on. For this one, I do think Brighton will have a bit too much for Fulham. I think it'll be a tight game though, so I'm going to go 2-1 I think for Brighton. Like I said, I think it will be a good game. See Mitrovic getting another goal. And yeah, I think Brighton will just have that bit too much in the end for Fulham, but I think it will be a good game, that one. Next up, at Selhurst Park, Palace take on Brentford. Another game that could be a decent one, to be fair. Both good sides. They'll be there or thereabouts in sort of that middle pack. You'd have thought this at the end of the year. Maybe Palace or Brentford are pushing on a bit. You never know. For me, I thought Palace were pretty good against City, to be honest, at the Etihad. And I can see them getting something in this game, if I'm honest. Probably a tight game. Brentford will go and sort of settle quite defensive at a thought. Yeah, I think it'll be a tight one. I'm going to go 1-0 win for Palace. I'll go someone like Edouard to get the goal. Next up, Southampton take on Chelsea at St Mary's. Southampton probably, they put in a pretty good performance against United. Probably disappointed maybe not to get a point. Pretty good showing. Chelsea did well they were down to 10 men again. Koulibaly in the last game, Gallagher in this one. Gallagher against Leicester, should I say? And yeah, they're doing it tough, Chelsea at the moment. With suspensions and things like that. But yeah, I think I can see a draw. To be honest, I'm gonna go 1-1 in this game. Just think Chelsea a bit light on the ground. They might struggle, with a double game week sort of thing, midweek and sort of on the weekends. Yeah, I think Chelsea could be a bit leggy going into this one, just because of the lack of options they have in there. They might have to pull Loftus-Cheek in the midfield, something like that. I'm not sure if Kovacic is back yet, but yeah, I can see him struggling a bit in this one, and I'm going to go for a draw. I'll go 1-1. Next up at the 8 o'clock kickoff, we've got Leeds taking on Everton. Leeds had a pretty good start to the season. Well, Everton really haven't, have they? Not got going at all, sat in that bottom three. I could see a Leeds win for this, to be fair. Jesse March has got on playing some good stuff. Frank Lampard struggling at Everton. He's just brought in Neil Maupay, who might maybe make his debut in this game. He'll add a bit for them up front. But yeah, for me, I see Leeds coming out comfortably winning this one, and I'm going to go with a 3-1 win. Probably a big result that for Leeds if they do get the 3 goals, but I just worry a bit about the Everton side. They don't seem to have settled well with the signings they brought in. They're still, without a striker. They started well without a striker 4 games in. Brought in Maupay, will he be enough? He's got disciplinary issues himself. He does get the odd red card here and there. He could get him a few goals, but yeah, I think Leeds are a more settled side for me, and I can see them come away with a comfortable win in this game. Next up, we've got Bournemouth taking on Wolves. That's on the Wednesday, I believe, and that's a 7:30 kickoff. So yeah, Bournemouth have had a really struggled start, haven't they? Really, they got that opening day win against Villa, but yeah, since that they've took a few hidings. Really, they've had a battering off Arsenal, City, and Liverpool. Don't get me wrong, that's 3 tough teams to play after the opening day, and they'll be thinking, oh, we've got them out of the way now, we don't have to play them again for quite a while. But yeah, they'll be looking to target a game like this against Wolves. They've been struggling a bit themselves to get goals. They're creating chances, but they just can't put the ball in the back of the net. Wolves do have a good defence. They set up quite well, to be fair, and they don't lose by many when they do lose. But for me, Bournemouth have got to get something from this if they want to sort of get that momentum back going. They've conceded like 13 in the last 2 games, so they're going to need to shore up at the back. And against the Wolves team, who are struggling to score, it could be the perfect game for them. Tough one to predict because of the situations I've just mentioned there, but I'm going to go, I want to go 0-0. I know it's a bit of a boring one to predict, it's a 0-0, but Yeah, I'm just thinking Wolves are struggling to put the ball in the net, and Bournemouth, I think they might be able to hold on at home. You know, the crowd behind them, and yeah, I think they'll get a point, but I can't see them scoring myself. But yeah, I'll go 0-0 for this game. Next up at the Emirates, Arsenal take on Aston Villa. Arsenal still perfect, 4 from 4. You know, top of the league. Villa are struggling a bit under Gerrard. You know, they've got 3 defeats now, just the 1 against Everton. And yeah, they are struggling, and it's not the place you really want to go whilst you're struggling. Is the Emirates at the minute. They are playing really good stuff at the moment, Arsenal, and I can see it continuing. To be fair, they need to be a bit better than they were against Fulham. Don't get me wrong, but Fulham set up well. I think Villa probably won't have as much as what Fulham had to offer in this game. I'm going to go relatively comfortable win for Arsenal in this one. I'm going to go 2-0 win for Arsenal. I think Jesus will get a goal. He's been struggling for goals, but I think he'll get one in this one. Next up, we've got City taking on Forest at the Etihad. City obviously coming off that massive comeback win over Palace. You know, being 2-0 down at half time, they had it all to do, but they did do it, and they came back and won 4-2 in the end. Big man Erling Haaland getting a hat trick. Forest, they lost recently at the City ground to Spurs. They'll be a bit disappointed because they played quite well, really. Probably did deserve a point. You know, Dean Henderson saved the penalty. He's saved 2 now penalties, Dean. Looking to sort of stamp his mark down and show United that they've made a mistake loaning him out. But for me, I can see City being a bit more comfortable in this game. I think the more they're coming back from, you know, the more setbacks they're getting, I think they're learning more, this team. And, you know, got the likes of Silva now, who's sort of getting match fit and really brilliant. He was really brilliant against Palace, and yeah, I think once we've got that full complement City, you know, the centre halves need to come back, you know, like Laporte and Ake, but yeah, I think they'll get a comfortable win this one. I think Forest will get a goal, can see them getting a goal, but hopefully not the opener, so the City don't have to come back. But yeah, I go 3-1 for this game for Man City. I think they'll come out with another 3 points. Next up, we've got West Ham taking on Tottenham at the London Stadium. Really good game, this one, one to keep an eye on. It's a bit of a derby, an all-London derby. Both of these sides, I don't think they like each other very much. But yeah, a bit of an interesting game because West Ham, you know, they got the first win of the season against Villa away from home. Good result that. Spurs have been playing pretty well, as you can see here. They're sat in 3rd after 4 games, still not to lose. Bit of an interesting one really, because I can see West Ham sort of going on a bit of a run. I know they started poorly, but they're still sort of bedding players in, stuff like that. You know, the new signings, Kera and I think Emerson's come in, you know, Skamaka's sort of playing regular now. So yeah, they're sort of bedding the new signings in, and I think they could be impressive once these have gelled. Spurs are a really tough side to break down, as we've seen, with that back 5, well organised, as they always are, Conte teams. I'm sure to separate them really. I'm going to go for 2-2 draw. I think there'll be goals in this one because, like I say, them signings at West Ham are sort of starting to settle. Got a pretty good team around that, and Spurs have got attacking threats of their own in Son, Kane and Kulusevski. And yeah, I can see a high scoring draw in this one, so I'll go for 2-2. Next up, 8 o'clock kickoff, Liverpool take on Newcastle at Anfield. After they're coming off a 9-0 win, Liverpool, so they'll be full of confidence going into this game. Newcastle, they got a draw, I believe, last time out against Wolves away at Molineux. It was a last minute equaliser, so their spirits will be high after that. Bit of an interesting one this, because, you know, Liverpool, they've got to maintain that level that they've shown against Bournemouth. Can they do it against a better side in Newcastle? You'd like to think so. Newcastle, you know, they'll give it a go. They won't. You'd like to think they won't sit back for the full game. That's a lot of teams do when they go to Anfield. Yeah, I think they will come out on the winning side, Liverpool. I think it'll be a tight game though, mate. I'm going to go 2-1. I think St. Maximin will nick one, and I think Liverpool will just come out on the winning side in the end. Don't think it'll be as convincing win as it was against Bournemouth, but I do think they'll get over the line and get that win, continue their momentum. Next game and the last one of this game week is Leicester taking on Manchester United at King Power Stadium. United are full of confidence now. They've got a scruffy win really at St Mary's against Southampton. That brilliant win at Old Trafford against Liverpool. they'll be full of confidence. And for me, they've got to keep that partnership at the back going with Varane and Martinez. Talking about their opponents, Leicester, they're struggling, not winless from 4 so far. I've only got that 1 draw. Yeah, Rodgers got it all to do for me, and I can see United getting the win in this game. To be fair, if Casemiro starts, he'll shore all that midfield. That was, I think, what he needs really. McTominay's been doing okay in there, did quite well last game, but Casemiro, look, going forward, he's probably going to be the man to shore it up. And yeah, Leicester, they've got it all to do really. They need to bring in some additions, or they're going to struggle. Fofana does look like he's on his way out. I think it's like something silly like 75 million, something like that. Crazy money. Tielemans, he's probably going to be going. I think Arsenal will sort of penny pinch him in that one, leaving it till the last minute. But I think they will get it over the line, and you'd think it'd only be about 20 odd million or so. So yeah, that's 90 million there, and on top of what they've already sold Leicester, they need to spend some of that money. I know they might be struggling with financial wise and stuff, but surely they need to reinvest a bit of that into the playing squad, and they need to strengthen, or they could be struggling to get out of here, and do worry a bit for Brendan Rodgers really. But yeah, as I'm saying, I do think United will come out on top in this one. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win for Man United away from home. I just don't think Leicester are really prepared at the moment. I think they need to make additions, and until they do, I can see them keep losing. Right, so let's see if I calculate that, what the Premier League table looks like after all that. As we see, we've still got Arsenal sat in top, 5 from 5, I've got them. City up to 2nd, Brighton sat in 3rd, that's brilliant for them. Spurs sat in 4th, Leeds, United creeping up to 6th there, pushing for that top 4. Chelsea, I didn't say they'd win, so they're sat in 8th, Liverpool sat in 7th. As you can see, it's pretty similar to what it was last week really, the table. Bournemouth creeping up to 16th there. Wolves getting out of that bottom 3. Villa, Everton, Leicester, my bottom 3. I wouldn't have said they'd be there after 5 games, but that's how they're performing at the moment, and yeah, that's how I think the table will look after game week 5 in the Premier League. Right then guys, it's that part of the video where we talk about the Premier League fantasy team. See how we got on in game week 4. As we can see, Mendy here got 3 points. Trent with 17, he got a goal and an assist, so really good for him, and a clean sheet of course. Martin Cash with just the 1 point, he struggled a bit at home. They got beat off West Ham. Cucurella got 5, I think he got an assist, he did. Diaz got 2 goals, good performance from him. Kulusevski got me an assist, a clean sheet, and 82 minutes played. Son again struggled, clean sheet for Son, just 73 minutes played. Rodrigo fortunately didn't get a goal. He was on the losing side at Brighton, but I think he'll come good again and get a few goals for me. Martinelli didn't do anything in that game, did play the 90 minutes though. Ivan Toney unfortunately didn't do anything in a 1-1 draw, but did get the 2 points for 90 minutes played. And I did captain Jesus, he got a card and just the 90 minutes played, so just the 2 points for Jesus unfortunately. But 57 points, it's a bit of progress on what I've got in the last couple of weeks. I'm fairly happy with it. It's got me off the bottom in the FPL league, in the mini league. But yeah, I'll take that for a bit of progress really, and I'm getting like 30 and 28 in previous weeks, so I will take that for game week 4. And I'm just going to have a look at what changes we can make now. So of course we've got the 1 change. I've got 2.8 million sat there, free up. Let me have a look at a couple of games coming up. I'm thinking of getting rid of Son. I know he's a brilliant player, he's just not doing it at the minute. I think he needs to hit that reign of form for me. He's yet to do it, should I say. I'm going to get him out for a couple of games, I think. That frees me up with 14.6 million for a midfielder. Of course, that means I can get pretty much anyone. Now the debate is Salah or De Bruyne. If I'm gonna look next like 5 games or so, see who's got the easier ones. Liverpool got Newcastle, City play Forest, I'd say City there. Everton, I'd say Salah there. Yeah, over Villa away. Maybe De Bruyne actually. City Spurs, I've got Liverpool Wolves, you'd say Liverpool there. Chelsea Liverpool, Wolves City, you'd say De Bruyne there. Bit of a tough one, really, to go. The amount of goals he gets, you'd think Salah. However, he hasn't really got many so far this season. And I think De Bruyne will get you loads of assists. He's a little bit cheaper as well. So I'm going to go Kevin De Bruyne. I'm going to get him in for Son. And that leaves me with 2.4 million. So, you know, in a couple of weeks, it's given me a lot to play with that. I could look at upgrading maybe Tony or something like that, and Martinelli or Rodrigo potentially, or sort this defence out. 2.4, that could get me. I don't know if that would get me Cancelo actually, but yeah, I'll have a look in a couple of weeks, see what we can do. But for this week, a big change. I'm bringing in Kevin De Bruyne, and I'm taking. Right then, guys, that's everything for today's video. As always, please let me know down in the comments what you think the results are going to be this weekend. Do you think there'll be any shockers in there, or do you think I'm bang on? As always, if you have enjoyed, please drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, guys. I've seen a lot of views coming up lately, and it's good to see. I think we're over like 120 odd channel views now, so keep that going. I'm really happy with that. As always, thanks very much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.